there are people, for them $1 million is an impulse buy. Has nothing to do with rationale. It's an impulse buy. There are people that $1 billion is an impulse buy. I haven't talked to them yet. But I know a lot of people, look, I know personally a few people that the parents' allowance, they give them $100,000 a month to a teenager, is just to cover the basic expenses. So don't buy anything, just basic expenses.
Yeah. How would you rationalize someone pay $150,000 for a Louis Vuitton bag?
I just don't think those kind of people live in Denmark. But that, okay, I can test it. I can just do it. And then.
You know, the person who was making $1 million a month, if Erico had tried to charge $2,500 instead of $25,000,
they wouldn't come.
They wouldn't come. They would not come.
Yeah, you don't see those people because you're not talking to them right now. You're charging too little.
So,
definitely.
Once I gave a seminar. It was the first PLM seminar. Were you guys the first or second? So the first PLM seminar, and there was a guy seated just off the center aisle, stage left, 3 rows back. And I charged, this is a $25,000 event, and I really had to like hold my breath about that. And it really wasn't $25,000, it was $5,000 down, and then it's going to be 20 later on. But this is before I knew about Sparta, this is years ago. And that person out there, Chad Meisinger, had sold his business to Google for $1.3 billion. Billion with a B. And this guy's sitting there listening to me for 5 days, sitting out there. And it's like, you don't know who's on your list. You do not know who's on your list. 1.3 billion. That's what.
And you should have one offer that you can't afford. That's what I learned from Andrei.
Because I think there's an assumption that everybody on your list has a horse, but maybe people are following you because their dream is one day to have a horse or to ride on a horse, and that could be your Sparta offer. Like if you can't think so big as I can get a thoroughbred, just talking to the person of I can take you on a horse. That in itself could be fulfilling a dream that people don't have courage to do on their own.
Plus another thing, another tip. Christina, there's another tip. Your goal is to hit people. You're selling a story. You're selling a product, whatever product you come up with, doesn't matter. The truth is, your product doesn't matter. What matters is the story behind it. You're selling this person for $10,000 ability to show off to everybody else in Instagram, Facebook, and in verbal conversations. I rode $1 million horse that won this championship and this and this. That's it. And those top trainers were serving me. This is what you're selling, nothing else. The rest doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you could steal that from Will's copy. He said, like, the next time you see those guys win a tournament on TV and you're with your buddies with beers, you can just say, yeah, I had to try to return that serve and I wasn't able to do that. It was crazy. and it's the same thing, right? They could see the championship on TV and tell their friends, well, I rode that horse, and man,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay, any, first of all, Will had to, he had to catch a flight, so that's why he ran off. And we're going to wrap this up. Any last questions, Gabe? Behind you. The table behind you.
Question to Victoria. So when you were about to send that email, how did you feel? And then when you started to get the responses back, how did you feel then? So what was your transformation?
Well, I had the benefit of Will's working, so, and that's the beauty of what he wrote is so, or he's out the door, but what he wrote is so magnificent that it works. It's like a plug and play almost. It just took the reader through the story of imagining. So I was excited to send it, and I sent in small batches. So I was doing it I didn't do it to my whole list. I did it in groups of 10. I actually handpicked who I wanted to invite. So I was excited, and I sent it to the first 10 people in a BCC that I thought would get it. And then a few of them started writing back, this is awesome, thanks so much for inviting me. That gave me the momentum to send the next group. And then the next time I was like, who else should I send this to? And I just kept sending out in batches.
And
But
the total send was pretty small, right?
yeah, I don't know, maybe less than 100 people.
How many took it?
We had 10 take it, and then 3 couldn't come, but they paid, there was no refund.
And what was the event?
It was a 2-day event in New York City that was around performance, and it was about, a lot of people had been through my training already, so they wanted to take it to the next level. It was about story, develop your TED Talk, and this is not for ordinary speakers, it's people who really want to do creative things on the platform. We're going to develop creative bits. I have 2 celebrity guests coming, which I did. You're going to be texting your friends while, I took this right out of Will's copy, you're going to be texting your friends while they're on stage. You're going to say, I can't believe who's here. All that happened. I took them out to an extraordinary dinner. I also did everything first class. For me, and I learned this from someone I mentored with, it's so worth the extra money. So, the dinner cost me $800. I could have gotten it for $300, but everyone was raving about the food. We got beautiful lunches. I mean, everything was just above the norm, which is sort of how I like to do my events. It's not sort of, it's how I do my events. Everything is classy. That's part of my brand. It's just high end, and I'll do cheesy. $6,500. Well, it was $7,500 in a payment plan, or $6,500 if paid in full.
I thought it was 6,500.
She's about 6 months out from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did the price juxtaposition, or whatever you call it, price anchoring. I said private coaching is X, and this is, so that looks great already, that jump down.
Okay, can we have a round of applause for our ladies and gentlemen?